Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Open Studio. As always, I'm your host for today's show. My name is Danny Cambo, and yes, we've got an amazing show for you today because joining me in studio is two amazing ladies who goes by the name of Audrey and Janine. They're from an amazing school called Christel, South Africa, and they're here to speak to us a little bit more about the school and tell us what exactly they're doing there to elevate and also help the people within the communities. And I believe it is open for application, I believe. So we're going to touch into that now very shortly. But firstly, ladies, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So for those that do not know you, that's watching at home, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself, about your background?
Sure. I'm Janine, and I am the senior social worker at Christel House, but also the admissions coordinator.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yourself?
And I'm Audrey Murray. I'm Christel House's CEO in South Africa.
Okay. Wow. So for those that do not know Christel House, can you give us a little bit of background, a little bit of history of how it came about?
Sure.
Yeah, so Christel House started in South Africa.
Yeah.
It started in 2002. We're one of 8 schools in the world. So we're part of the Christel House International umbrella of schools. And it started really, I know people call us a school, but we started as a solution for severely impoverished people with really dire financial need. How does one break out of the cycle of poverty? And those who do live in those circumstances really understand what we're saying. And schooling and education is a part of that. What we then did was to build a holistic model of saying it's not just schooling and education, but it's many other things. It's being able to get to school, so we have a busing service. It's being able to study on a full stomach, so we have a feeding scheme. It's being able to see on the board, so we test our kids for glasses every couple of years, etc., etc. So it's a holistic solution for our country.
Wow. And you said you are helping impoverished kids within the communities, those that are in need. So how do you identify those that are in need?
Okay. So Christel House, we look at 3 things when we're looking for kids. Okay?
Yeah.
The first one is, do they stay in one of our areas of operation? And like Adri mentioned, we've got a transport. We've got transport, so we bus our kids in every day. So the first thing is, do they stay in one of our areas? The second thing is, we're looking for families who meet our financial, who meet our financial need, right?
Okay.
So we are saying, if we take their monthly income divided by the amount of people, if it works out to 1,500 rand or less, they are our people.
Wow.
And the last one is family involvement, okay? And the reason for family involvement is that we can't look at this child as an individual, but the child forms part of a system, okay? And so in order for this child to be successful, we want the family to be successful as well. And in order for that to happen, we need families who are supportive and involved in their child's lives and in the child's education.
So it's about having the whole family involved.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are the areas that you're targeting?
So we've got quite a number of areas: Manenberg, Hanover Park, Athlone, Langa, Philippi, Grassy Park, Lotus River. Some of the farm areas along Strandfontein Road. Strandfontein itself is one of our areas as well.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys are quite busy within the communities, and I can hear by the way you're speaking, those are the communities when help is needed. And also, the other thing I wanted to ask, with these kids in the area, do you go out to them, or do they come to you? How do you get to connect with them and for them to become part of Christel House?
So it's actually it's twofold. It's both.
Okay.
Our application forms are available on our website, but also our families come to our school and they can collect it from our department itself or at our school gate. And then also, as part of the process, how we connect with our families and we see where are our kids coming from, what kind of lives are they living, is that myself and one of the other social workers, we actually go out and do and visit all applicants' homes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And maybe we can add a little bit to the areas that we support. So if one wants to help a person to break free from a life of poverty forever, then part of that is the stability of doing it day after day after day. So we're with our kids from grade R to grade 12 and another 5 years into a college and careers program. In order to do that, we need to what Janine has referred to as a sense of stability in the household. Not necessarily a mum or a mum and a dad, but maybe a gogo. But our communities need to be supported by us. Because we've been doing this for 17 years, people know about that, about us. So they understand that, and we need to intervene in the community, and the community supports us. So the kid's with us for 8 hours, and then the kid is with the community for another 8 hours, another 8 hours they sleep, hopefully. So it is that community involvement that strengthens our involvement with our children, including what we do with our parents. So we have a very strong parental support program as well.
So it's a teamwork. Teamwork,
Has to be.
So you mentioned that with Christel House, you don't just see to the child's needs, but see to the child as a whole. Can you just elaborate on that?
That's true. So first of all, our model itself is quite holistic. Okay? So we're not just looking at education. We don't just want our kids to be academically smart. We want them to be good human beings and good people. So we've got quite a big character development program at our school as well. And also looking at a child as more than just a child, as part of a system. A child can't learn if they're hungry. A child can't learn if something's going on at home. A child can't learn if they're not feeling well. And so Christel House tries to encompass all of that in the sense that we feed our kids, we bus them in every day. We've got a nurse on the premises. We've got social workers and counselors on the premises as well. And these facilities are not only available to the kids but to the families also.
Okay.
So what we do is we try and empower our families, because breaking the cycle of poverty can't only stop with the kids.
So,
And if I can add to that, I think what is important, Janine mentioned our character building program. That is very, very ingrained in the work we do. So we don't send them off on a Wednesday between 3 and 4 to do character building. It is built into the curriculum, in the language of our teachers, in the ethos of the school. Because ultimately character is what takes you places, not your knowledge of geography. Particularly our strategy this year is to really change our curriculum to help our kids survive in the year of 2030 and 2040 and beyond. But the other part that is equally important is one of exposure, and that is career management. Many of our children come from environments where they don't necessarily almost know how big the world is out there, and exposure to that is really important. So we bus our kids to outings, and we do 13 years of career management with them. So there's a real opportunity at a life-changing career when they're done with us.
So after school, they not just go about and wander. So you have that consistency where you follow up and you help them with whether they're going to tertiary
and we have an extended school day. So school doesn't finish at 1 or at 2 or at 2:30. It finishes at 4:30.
Okay, wow.
We also have an extended school year. So our kids are at school for more days than what, for example, a government school is.
Wow. Wow, for those that's watching at home, I'm wow. I can't say enough wows to describe how I feel right now. But if you're watching at home, I urge you to please stay tight, sit where you are, because after the break, we're going to continue our conversation, so do not go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome to it. If you just tuned in, you're not too late. You're watching Open Studio on Cape Town TV, and I'm your host for today's show. My name is Danny Cambo, and joining me in studio, for those that just missed it, is Janine and Audrey, who's from an amazing school called Christel House, South Africa, and they're here to speak to us a little bit more about the school. So before the break, we went into details about their background, about themselves, and also about the background of the school. Now, to continue our conversation, we're going to speak about admission. For those that are watching at home, you heard all the good things about the school, and admission is now open. All right. So, ladies, just to speak on that, admission is open like we heard now. So, just a point of interest. Do you accommodate for students outside of Cape Town?
If they're in Mexico, yes, because there's a school in Mexico, and if they're in India, because there are 2 schools in India. That said, we can only accommodate children that are from the areas that we serve. I think a bit earlier Janine mentioned those. And the reason for that, again, is if we're going to give a full scholarship and a holistic education, extended school day, extended school year to a person, and this is all funded, so this comes at no cost to our parents, then we've got to have the stability of 13 years of schooling and 5 years of college and careers. And that means you have to be stable and from the areas that we come from.
Okay.
Because we ensure attendance, our attendance for our children are 98%. So I hope some of the kids listening will wonder what that really means. We bus our kids in and out every day. So unfortunately, you have to live in one of our areas if we support you. No problem with relocating or waiting for us to open in Joburg.
Oh, wow. So when does application open and close, and how do one apply?
All right. So applications have opened up. Today is actually our first day.
Okay.
So applications for grade R have opened up today, and they close the 28th of June. How applicants can apply. We've tried to make it as easy as possible for everyone. So we've got a number of different ways. The first one is up on our website, sa.christelhouse.org. Okay? On the website, we've got our application forms. They can download the application forms from there. But they can also come to the school itself and come and collect an application form, either at our office or at our security gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the admission requirements?
Okay. So admissions requirements, as I mentioned earlier, we look at three things. Financial need. Does the applicant stay in one of our areas of operation? And the last one is the family. We're very big on family, and so that's the last criteria that we look at is family involvement.
Okay.
So there's one thing that is not an admission criteria, and it might be worth saying at some level it is and isn't. For our grade Rs, we do not have an academic admissions criteria, and I think that's really important. A grade R child, we believe in the talent of our country. A child needs an opportunity.
Yes.
And whether they do or don't or can or can't doesn't really matter at grade R because of the level of involvement that we have. So at grade R, we don't look at what other might perceive as academic talent or intelligence, etc., etc. We look at the things that Janine mentioned. Because of the work we do, when a child applies to take a gap in grade 4 or grade 6 or grade 7, by then our children are well above the rest of the kids in their neighborhood. And then we do an academic entrance test. You've got to be able to pass our exams if you're a more senior child than the grade Rs.
Okay. Oh, so can you just tell us what are the grades that we are looking at? Is it from primary school up to
grade
high
R
school?
to grade 10.
Okay, grade R to grade 10.
So grade R will open up. So today's our first day for grade R, and it will end in June. And as soon as that process is done, we start looking for grade 1 to grade 10. So from 1st of July to end of September, we look for grade 1 to grade 10. Yeah.
And there are not many places available because when our students get this opportunity, they rarely let it go. So here and there, we do have a gap, and then we're welcome to make that opportunity open to others.
Yeah, so for those that's listening now at home that wants to apply, can you just tell them what can they expect? What is in there for them? What is in there for the kids?
Sure.
Where do we begin?
Yeah.
Okay? First of all, this is an opportunity for them to grow, to learn and to grow and to be. You know, a lot of our kids come from areas all of our kids come from very impoverished areas, and they can get sucked into that. And we are saying to them, there's so much more. Okay?
And to maybe list the so much more, it's our results blow the lights out. So if we compare our children to who they would have been if they didn't come to us, and they do between 400% to 500% better, 4 to 5 times better. By grade 6 and grade 3 and grade 6 and grade 9, our systemic tests are 4 to 5 times better than any other school they would have gone to. It even beats the quintile 5, the top private schools. Our averages beat them. 95%, all our matriculants pass. We have yet to have one matriculant fail.
Wow.
Yeah, our history class average this year for matric was 81%.
Wow.
So all of them passed. Mathematics pass rate was 83%. And of them, 95% of our students study further or go to work directly after school. And we help them into that program and we accommodate them with bursaries and scholarships.
Wow.
So if you come to us, we're going to take care of you and you're going to be a success for 18 years.
And our kids get meals every day. We bus them in every day. They've got access to health services. They've got access to socio-emotional services.
Sport.
So they've got sport.
Yeah, I'm aware of the sports.
They've got sport. So
Yeah.
we try and look at them as quite holistic and put as many things in place for them as what we can.
Yeah. Well, and you've been working for 17 years now. It's been active for 17 years, and I'm quite sad now that my mom never took me to Christel House. But now, just to think about it, what are your academic and after-school programs that you are running at the school currently?
So the academic programs are the regular sort of curriculum-driven programs, knowing that we thread character development and curriculum development through that. All our kids do after-school programs. So again, at 2:30 when the bell rings, nobody goes home until 4:30. So the bottom third of our school gets extra remedial academic work. Everybody stays behind And on a Saturday, there's remedial work if you're in the bottom third. Then we've got an active sports program, we've got an active cultural program, we've got a robotics team that just blow the lights out. They won the International Olympics of the sort of provincial Olympics, sorry, they won the gold. In robotics, our sports, we've got 5 children currently with Western Cape Colours. We've got a chess team, there is no end. Music, art, we've just sold 75 paintings to a hotel in Spain. So it's a very, very diverse place where you are allowed to live into your talent.
And the robotics, it's the first time I'm hearing about that. Sounds very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? What do they do?
So it's a new program that started at our school. I think it was about 2 years ago. And a couple of learners expressed an interest in the sciences and in building. And so one of our teachers took it as a personal project and actually created this robotics team. It started off very small. There was 1 or 2 students that started off, and it just grew and fueled by passion, basically.
Wow. Wow. For those of you that's watching at home, we're going to take another short break, but just remember, it's never too late for you to apply. Could be too late for me, but it's not too late for you. Okay, take as much knowledge as you can. Go onto the website, go and apply. But after the break, we're going to continue with our conversation. There's more to learn, there's more to know, so do not go anywhere. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back, guys. We are continuing our conversation. If you just tuned in, you're not too late. We are almost at the end of the show, but you're not too late. You still have time to learn something new. And like you know, with me in studio is Janine and Audrey from the amazing school called Christel House, South Africa. We spoke about the background. We spoke about their background, the school's background, and what they are doing to help children within the communities. But what you need to know is that admission is now open and you can go and apply, go into the website and check out the criteria, see if you qualify and apply to join this amazing school. So ladies, just to continue with our conversation, something that was brought to my attention or that we spoke about earlier on was Feed a Future campaign. Can you just tell us a little bit, it sounds interesting, can you just tell us a little bit more about that? What does it mean, Feed a Future campaign?
Sure.
So I'll speak a little bit to that and Janine can come in. I think first of all, we understand that the way out of poverty is through education.
Yes, ma'am.
But you can't educate a hungry child. So something that really comes before education is the opportunity to be educated, which is why we bus our kids in, which is why we give them food. Food in terms of development, brain development, preventing stunted growth, etc., is extremely important in the younger years. So very early when our children arrive with us, we identify malnourished children. We give them EPAP, and the rest of the kids all get breakfast, and they get lunch, and they get 2 snacks. They're all healthy, it's World Health Organization food, but all of this needs to be paid for.
Yes.
So if a student is accepted, all the admissions criteria that Janine spoke about, they get a scholarship worth 60,000 Rand per year. And that needs to be raised. So we're a donor-funded organization, and one of the first things that we need to do is to feed our children, and that's the Feed the Future campaign. So we are raising money. It costs us just under 20 Rand per person per day to be able to feed at the level that we do. So it's not minimum feeding, it's feeding at 80% of recommended daily allowance. And we've just concluded, or I've just concluded reading of a study that looked at the difference between getting 1 meal a day and 2 meals a day, and that is really significant. And for us to be able to offer that to our children so that they can learn, so that they can be educated, get a job and be out of poverty, we need to run this campaign to be able to provide that.
And it's quite a big campaign at our school because unfortunately for some of our kids, this is the only meal that they're going to be having. The meals that they have at school will be the only meal that they have, and so it's quite a big campaign that we're running at our school. We feed all 700 of our kids.
And that's something to be proud of. I mean, that is a good initiative. And now I'm going to give you guys a chance to brag. Okay, you didn't brag throughout the show. You spoke from the heart about the school that you dearly love. I can sense that. Now I'm giving you guys a chance to brag for those that's watching at home. Can you now tell us about the achievements that the children of Christel have achieved, or you guys have achieved during your time at Christel House?
I think we did brag a little bit already, but I'm certainly going to rattle them off and Janine can come in again. Firstly, if you start with us in grade R, 90% of those who start with us finish reach matric. That is almost triple the national average. Of those who reach matric, 100% of them pass. In grades 3, 6, and 9, we write systemic tests. We do 400 to 500% better than any other child in the types of schools our kids would have gone to. Everybody, well, 95% of our matrics, after they've passed, go on to do tertiary studies. They become engineers, they become doctors, they become social workers, they do BA Psych, art, etc., etc. We showed off about our art program. Sport is equally big. Volleyball is big, like you mentioned. We have 5 provincial colours at the moment. Our music program is huge. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what Mr. Davey and the music team does.
So our music program runs across from our junior school to our high school. And we've got a band in the junior school, we've got a band in the high school, we've got a choir in the junior school, choir in the high school, jazz band, orchestra. Think of an instrument, it's played at Christel House.
And we offer music as a subject.
Yes.
And then I do want to add, which is, I brag about that, which is not the big trophies, but our children don't just take a scholarship, get, achieve, and run. They also give back to their communities, and we call that service learning, because in servicing those in need, you also learn. And we speak about the character and the respectability of work. So whether you're a medical doctor or whether you sweep the floors, there is honor in work. So we teach our children about the honor of work. Most of our children's parents are unemployed. So it's really important to speak about all work is honorable, to service back into paying that privilege forward and to learn from that. And our kids do, and our teachers do.
And our parents are also involved in that way, in that we say to them, look, we don't want anything from you except your support, right? So our parents come to the school, they assist our teachers, they assist our kids, they assist in the dining hall, they assist in exams, they assist with the running of school. So it's like our own little family that we've got going at Christel House, and I think that's we're not just looking at here's an education, here's a matric certificate. That's not what we're about. We want to make sure that our kids are good human beings, are decent human beings. They give back. That they become productive members of a South African society.
And that shows appreciation.
Yeah, definitely.
For parents having to come back and assisting within the schools, and you allow them to do that.
Definitely.
That is.
In fact, a little bit more than allow. Actually, we require them to. We require them to give 40 hours of their time per year. Which is 5 working days per year. We require them to come and help us, and then we instill that character with our students. So they do outings to soup kitchens, and they give, like on Mandela Day, they will give sandwiches, etc., because it's important to not only receive but also to service back.
So for those that's watching at home that want to get part of Christel House, that wants to get on this train and go, how can we get a hold of you?
So first things first, our website, sa.christelhouse.org, all of our numbers on there. We've got a WhatsApp number, we've got an office number, 021 704 9429 is the direct line to the admissions office. Check out our website, all of our information is on our website.
And what other age group you're talking? I'm too old now. But what other age groups
Never
that you're talking?
to start. So it's from the babies, the grade R's, and they have to turn 6 in the year of application.
So which means in this year they should be turning 6.
No, next year they turn 6. So these are the 5-year-olds, and then in 2020 they will have their 6th birthday, and then we take them all the way up to matric. But our last admissions would be in grade 10. And then if you're not going to apply but you want to be involved either through volunteering or donating, etc., again just follow the website. That's not so difficult, and then just join us directly.
And there you have it, viewers. I'm amazed. I hope you're amazed. I hope you had just as much fun as we did here on the show today. I hope you learned just as much as I did today. And guys, I thank you so much for coming through, for sharing insight, and also for doing what you're doing within the communities and trying to help these kids and excelling at what you are doing. So I really thank you. I know South Africa and Cape Town thanks you. And guys, unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show. We're going to have to say goodbye, but that's not India. Go search them on the social media pages. Go find them on the website. Search for Christel House South Africa and you'll get all the information you need. Go and apply. Application is now open. So from me, Danny, I'm saying goodbye. Until next time, bye-bye.